Great weekend of sports.
It was.
Really excited to have y'all come over yesterday.
That was phenomenal.
An unbelievable amount of chicken wings.
Well done, sir.
Well, look, I got to give credit. This is a team effort.
Yeah.
Team effort. Got to give Reed a lot of credit on the sides, too. It was good to see everybody. So, baby Ava came over.
Oh, yeah, baby Ava.
Yep.
Adam and Millie are best friends.
I tell you what, it was just like the most American, wholesome thing I've ever seen. Them young American boy playing with puppy dog in the backyard while we're grilling chicken wings.
French.
French dog.
First off, it was born in America.
It's French.
All right, it was born in America. If that's the case, then you're not American.
I mean,
we're Italian and Irish and Croatian.
I'm the number one out right now.
That's not how that works. But no, it was great. I do want to give a shout out to our friends at Cinch, the best propane tank delivery service there is. But man, that was a lot of chicken.
Thank you for making that much too.
Well, I'm glad. Everybody,
you knew who was coming.
For sure.
You knew.
Papa gets his grundle.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I mean, look. At this point, I think PETA's going to try and charge me with war crimes. Kill me.
It was good, man.
Yeah, it was good. That was fun. Though. That was good. Ohio State offensive coordinator Brian Hartline was hospitalized following an ATV crash early Sunday morning. LeBron and the Lakers upset the Grizzlies in Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. And we're going to preview the first round of the NHL playoffs that start tonight, baby. It's a great time of year. I'm Jake Crane, and we're ready to beat Monday up. This is Crane & Company. I need every college football fan to read my lips. There is nothing more pointless than overreacting to how a spring game goes. Okay, let's just get that out there. This goes for being too excited as well as too upset. Because if you don't know, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Do you know the most important part of a spring game to a head coach? Getting through it injury-free and clean. Now, that isn't to mention the poor special teams GA who has to put the scout team together throughout the whole ordeal to keep it organized. Now, similarly to the Senior Bowl, the most important part of spring practice is the actual practice. 99.99% of position battles are already determined before the spring game ever even kicks off. Having a great spring game doesn't take the place of having bad practices or getting outplayed by someone else in position battles during those practices. To be quite honest, spring game inter-squad scrimmages are pretty much for the fans only. Now, some backups may get some playing time that we'll never see any during the season, but pinning your hopes on how a spring game goes is like getting excited to go to a strip club where everyone is fully clothed the whole time. Everybody runs peanut butter and jelly on both sides of the ball, and each side knows the other's terminology. They know what's coming. They know the adjustments. Now, that isn't to say that your team won't be bad or will be really good based on how the spring game goes. But the truth is, outside of returning experience, nobody knows for sure. That's one of the reasons I wish teams could actually play true opponents for their spring games, but I won't digress. Now, I see on social media people gloating about how their team looked or trashing somebody else's team because of the spring game performance, and I get it, but to be honest, it's really just petty and pointless. Now, there have been many great teams that didn't have thrilling spring games, and many bad teams that looked like world beaters in the spring game. Now, we're all chomping at the bit for some real football action, and I get letting off some steam because there's kind of a game about to go on, but conserve your powder, because there's going to be plenty of disappointment and jubilation to go around come regular season time. I'm going to go and bring in my co-host, David Cohn. Knows a lot about spring games. So does my other co-host, Blaine Crane. And guys, I'm not trying to downplay everybody's spirits. I'm not trying to say that Super Bulldog weekend at Mississippi State isn't fantastic, or these 8A games or spring games. But I see people like, ha-ha, look at our spring game. This quarterback did this, that, and yours did this, that, and the other. And you can get a little bit, maybe an inkling of an indication. Maybe some guys panic when the lights come on and other guys step up. But outside of that, if you've ever been associated with anything involved with the spring game, you know the greatest day of spring as a coach and a player is the day after the spring game. It just is what it is.
You're exactly right. The spring game has always been more of a practice. And as someone who played more in spring games than in real games, I know what I'm talking about.
I did too. I played baseball.
Okay, so there you go. That's just a fact of the matter. Some information here, though. Did you hear what Dabo Swinney said?
Tell everybody.
Dabo Swinney, you were saying that, look, we need to move into more of an exhibition format for spring games and actually play some different competition. Dabo Swinney said he not only wants that, he would like for that to happen in the fall, to play some preseason games. He said college football is the only level of football that doesn't get to scrimmage against other teams before they start their season. NFL does it, high school does it, middle school does it. He said we don't get a chance to do it. I thought you'd find that interesting.
I'd need to look into the format of how that would happen a little bit. I wondered if you do it, similarly to the NFL, where it's just, 3-4 weekends before the game, you have maybe controlled scrimmage or something like that. When I look at the spring games against different teams, Dabo, I think, was the first one to say this a couple years ago. And then Hugh Freeze echoed it. I think you heard Trent Dilfer at UAB, Coach Summerall at Troy. Like a lot of coaches, I think, would rather do that. And Blaine, we all know how spring games go. Mm-hmm. But what is your overall, what do you think is the most important part of a spring game?
I would say getting young guys experience. That's what I would say. Yeah. When I got to college, the cool thing about the spring game, 1, don't get your best players hurt. 2, let's see what young guys can kind of rise a little bit and maybe get some playing time coming in this year. Spring games, I just think it's really highs and lows, but I do think you can somewhat calibrate your team off a spring game. Like after I watched that Florida spring game, I can walk into the season knowing that Florida's probably not going to be a great football team. I think it probably says more about quarterbacks than anything. Like you're running your base stuff. Half the time, your defense knows exactly what you're running. You do the terminology. You've been around it every day. I think you could take a little bit from a spring game, but to really say, well, this team's going to do this year off a spring game, it's mostly, I would say, 80% false.
Yeah, well, that's why I think you see these funny scoring formats and different ways to make it fun. Mm. The Florida point, until the last couple of years, I would have agreed with the correct play. But ever since the transfer portal now, what's the first thing Billy Napier does right after the game? Hey, we're looking for a quarterback in the transfer portal. So there's so much that can happen. Now, I do want to make sure everybody knows the rules of how the transfer portal works. I know we're going to get there with Bear Alexander. But to be able to transfer within a conference, you do have to hit the transfer portal at a certain time. I believe it's before February 1st of that same year. So if
that's within conference.
That's within conference, just within conference. So unless you have a waiver, which they give out like candy and ice cream nowadays. But I want to make sure people know that. We're going to get into that a little bit deeper. But yes, there's a few instances where maybe there's a freshman wide receiver that makes a couple big time plays, and that may have a chance to move him up a little bit in the depth chart. But I guarantee you that probably 80% of head coaches, maybe more, if you went up to him and said, I can wave a magic wand, and instead of a spring game, I'll just give you another practice. You can have your controlled scrimmage without everybody there. Maybe you want to work on some things, some specials, things like that. They would take that in a second. I think a lot of them would take just a full special teams practice. Hey, let's go through every single scenario, because I don't think people really understand, in all 3 phases, the things you have to do before you can even go out there in the field, and scout teams and things like that to be able to organize it. It is a nightmare. Now, that's the great part. I was in South Alabama. We didn't have 800 people out there that could help. Yeah. So I can imagine at places like Auburn and Alabama it'd be a little bit easier. But if you've ever, and there's a bunch of coaches out there, I don't know what you're coaching now, but if you've ever been through this, you are nodding your head in agreement. If you've ever had to do a special team scout team for a spring game, man, I feel like we could get answers from terrorists.
I'll tell you another thing that's helpful is day of logistics. This was a big thing for
communication.
Us. There's so much that goes right for 120 guys, plus that many trainers and coaches and all that kind of stuff. To be able to even get to the stadium, everybody know exactly where you're going, get out onto the field, where, which groups go out first for warm-ups, when you're coming back in, all that kind of stuff that doesn't have anything to do with your in-game responsibilities on certain plays against certain coverages or whatever. So that's another opportunity in the spring game to say, hey, this is how we get where we're going. This is the groups we're going to be in. This is how we navigate through the locker room and through all that kind of stuff. That's especially good for the younger guys. Again, to your point, when you're a senior, you've already done it in your stadium so many times. But that's another aspect where a spring game kind of helps.
You're more excited about the toilet bowl, if anything. I always like watching the younger guys get after it, especially like the freshmen. But let me ask you this, especially with the transfer portal coming up after spring and you can transfer in conference. If you're a head coach, you're a quarterback coach, Are you showing all the goodies? Are you limited in the playbook of what you want those guys to see until you really know they're there?
Well, I should know by now. Like if we go through a whole spring practice and I still don't know, and I have to see you run our base RPO stuff in a spring game to be able to know, then I haven't done my job as a coach. I mean, it's a legitimate question, but again, what goes on behind closed doors will give you more answers than a spring game ever will. So I think there's multiple ways. Guys do it different ways. Guys play guys different ways. Like with me, I got to return a guy like Blake Corman. You're not playing the spring game.
No.
I could care less about you playing in the spring game. I know that I know you know. Okay, and that's how it works. But in the chat, tell us, should they have preseason games like Dabo Sweeney said in college football? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And guys, it is a fantastic time of year. The NBA playoffs are here. It means we get some defense. There's already been some great games, a lot of injuries too, which we're going to get to. But that means big hoops action with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook and the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So get in on the excitement of every game with the touch of a button. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Everyone can score a no-sweat same-game parlay every day during the NBA playoffs. So open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. If that doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, like I said, and here's another offer. If you sign up with code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, you can get that $5 and get that $150 in bonus bets back instantly, win or lose. All right, that's big at the end there. Win or lose. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. DraftKings, do it, baby.
Love it, man. NHL playoffs tonight.
It's
NBA playoffs. I won a little on Max Holloway fighting this past weekend.
Did you watch that?
We had a good betting weekend.
Max is so nice with it.
Yeah.
He's so hard to touch. The last person I saw really touch him up was McGregor.
Purity.
That was it, but McGregor smooth like that. All right, let's get to the Booster Club. Travis Elrod, your Astros really let me down yesterday. You get beat by 8 by the Rangers. Grow up. What's the most important part of the offseason? Spring game, strength and conditioning, or practices in general?
If we had to start bench cut it, I would start I would start practice. I would bench strength and conditioning, and I would cut the spring game.
Cone?
Yep, same.
Kind of in the same boat there. All right, let's go to Bubbly Gut. That's never fun. Which would you rather watch, USFL or the XFL?
XFL, because Tom Luganbill's on there.
That's fair.
That's a good statement. All right, let's go to Michael McMichelson.
No, is that Brett McBretterson's brother?
No, it's not, and how dare you.
You're right.
Okay. Who is the best defensive player in college football entering this season?
Man.
God, give me...
Here, let me think about Georgia's defense.
It's a kid from LSU.
Harold Perkins?
Harold Perkins.
Yeah, that's him. I would
Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks is nice, too. Malachi Starks, but give me Harold Perkins, the percolator.
Harold Perkins is so good.
The percolator, that's hilarious. All right, let's go to DB, hashtag Ask Crane Company, watching you guys from Osaka, Japan.
Oh,
Wow.
Howdy,
I heard Japan's fun.
Nishiwa.
I want to check it out. Way better than China.
Look, I don't know, Cone, you can't go there, but I think I'm still alive. If you're under 6'5",
Hold on. What?
like
Is that a Godzilla
if you're 6'7" and go there, they're gonna think you're taking down buildings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go there.
You mean it's like a King Kong situation?
Yeah.
No, I'm going. Now I really want to go.
You should go.
Huh?
It
He
just makes
says,
me think of like Ant-Man when he gets huge. Like,
Wow.
have you guys
On a
ever played
Monday.
lacrosse? And what are your thoughts on sumo wrestling?
say that again?
Have you guys ever played lacrosse?
No, they didn't offer. They didn't offer in my high
finish
school.
the question.
I think
Hold
it
on,
would've
listen
been
to this
fun.
question in its entirety.
Have you ever
This
played
is awesome.
lacrosse? All right. And what's your thoughts on sumo wrestling?
What a great
That's
going
the end
across
of the
the gamut
spectrum right
today.
there, babe.
I remember if you donate, your question gets read first. Lacrosse didn't get offered where I went to high school, but I guarantee I would have liked it.
Yeah.
Like it looks fun. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Now, the first time somebody hit me with a stick, we're gonna have a problem.
That's going to be a conversation.
I'm not lasting long in that.
Yeah.
'Cause it gets to the point you hit me in the hands with something.
Yeah.
I don't care about the gameplay.
The rules.
I don't care about scoring or passing. I'm hunting you
Is it like hockey?
on angles where you can't see me for the rest of the
Can you
game.
duke it out a little bit in lacrosse or no?
I
don't
think
think-
so. I don't know.
I think
feel
that's why they
like-
give you the stick.
I don't
Not really.
know. Yeah, I think like
Not
half their
really.
dads are the mayors, so like you can't really.
That's
That's
true.
good. That's a good
That's
thing.
true.
Sumo. I feel like I'd be better at lacrosse than sumo wrestling.
I don't know, Dave. You're sturdy.
So that's
No,
a
David's
fat
too
joke.
tall.
I don't
David's
know.
too
I feel
tall
like
for sumo.
that's just.
David's too tall for sumo. See, I would
I
love
don't
to
even
go.
have a man bun. How can I even
You
make
could get
it?
one with that hair.
I would love to go to a sumo
That'd
match.
be fun.
That'd be fun, right? I want to see how big these cats really are.
Yeah.
Like, because they look, I mean, you know, I want to see like the
Let's go to Mad Veg, hashtag Ask Credit Company. Which team sport is it most devastating when you lose your star player, and which is it least devastating?
I would say losing your star player.
I'd say basketball.
Individual sports first.
Yeah, I mean,
You lose
have
that
to
guy.
go. Yeah,
I
that's
would say,
it.
well, but
Because you can get away with it. You got one guy that's
golf
balling
and
in
tennis.
basketball.
Team sport, basketball?
No, it's, no,
Team sports, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I would put basketball one.
I don't know.
mean,
Is hockey goalie?
well, I mean,
Is
you
your
look there's-
star hockey goalie?
I feel like there's some guys, depending on how fat you are, they could just shove somebody in the goal. It's like I told you, I don't
Speaking of
understand.
sumo.
I don't understand why there's not some 800-pound. Why don't, like, if I was the GM of a hockey team, like the minute I was flipping through channels and TLC came on, and it's like my 800-pound life, I'd be like, well, guys, guess what? I just found our goalie, and all we got to do is pay him in M&Ms and Oreos.
Wow.
Just shove him in the goal.
Wow.
Is it against the rules? I know padding has to be. So I'm not saying have the padding be regulation.
There's no.
But can I not
there's no
shove
way-
his fat
there's
ass
no
in the
way
goal?
What
there's
do you
a-
mean is
it's
what
a-
against the rules? Like putting them in goal or paying them in M&Ms and Oreos?
That's not against the rules.
No, that's not against the rules.
You get paid in what you want. Stride gum for
No,
all
I'm
I
saying like if you just put a goalie that's so like huge and
Yeah.
wide that, again, isn't that the whole point?
That is.
I don't need you to be able to run the mile in 6 minutes or even be able to hit the puck.
You don't have to run.
That's exactly right.
Better if you don't.
They call him the
and
human
glide.
the human icing.
Yeah. What sport is it least devastating though to lose your star player? Baseball?
Baseball.
Yeah.
So.
Probably
Because there's so many variables
Yeah, I know.
in baseball.
So to L4E says which quarterback will be the first game starter for the old Crimson Tide?
I'm going to go Jalen Milroe, man.
You think so?
I'm going Jalen Milroe. I think he's got experience. I think they're going to slowly work Ty Simpson in. Milroe gives you not that Ty can't run. I don't think he gets credit for being as athletic as he is with his feet. But Milroe, I mean, if you can just throw it okay, like if you can just throw it okay, then you're going to be fine. But look, Bama eventually is going to be fine at quarterback. But Jalen does have good experience. But speaking about experience, guys,
Tell him about it.
you feel like it's harder to get in shape and stay in shape nowadays? I'm not staring at you.
Look at him.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't trying to.
There's a lot happening.
Well, our sponsor, Nugenix Total T, is offering a complimentary bottle when you text 231-231 and enter the keyword Crane. All right? So in the top bar, you put 231-231, and then the bottom box with the text, you put Crane, C-R-A-I-N. Because as we age, our body loses free testosterone. Our energy drops, our libido falls for some people, and we start to lose muscle. But when Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster, it helps you turn back the clock. This is the closest thing to a time machine we got. All right, so take advantage of it. It contains key man-boosting ingredients like testofen, validated in 5 clinical studies. That's 5, baby. Not 4, not 3, 5. All right, and it gives you the same clinical potency levels used in trials. So you can re-energize your life with Nugenix Total T. Text keyword Crane, C-R-A-I-N, to 231-231 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, because you'll hit home runs like Frank Thomas and throw Hail Marys like Doug Flutie, baby. So text now, and you'll also get that complimentary bottle of Nugenix Thermo.
There we go.
Their most powerful fat incinerator
Ooh.
ever, absolutely free. And you know what happens then, David? That fat is out of here, mister. So text keyword Crane to 231-231. That's keyword Crane to 231-231. Congrats, you're jacked and tan now.
Now I know why you look at me, because I had that third brownie yesterday, and that was Rhino's fault.
I'm trying to give you that Kelly Rowland.
He wouldn't take it home. He made someone eat it. So
How good were those?
I didn't eat any brownies.
Hey, did anybody
I'm
have
sorry.
those croissants yesterday?
I did,
Dude,
and that was your call. I heard
that was my call.
Thank
You called an
Look,
audible
I'm
late.
gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100 right now. All right, the wings phenomenal. That mac and cheese,
Oh, yeah. Reed was
Bruh.
upset because she thought some people didn't like it.
I had. It
brother.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, she made a
God.
pan that was so big it could have filled up this
It
room.
was
It's
like
half of his
cheese.
length. It's
It's
like
like
my
a-
grandmother when
Wasn't it
there's
like a
anything on my
Mexican? It
plate.
was like a Mexican mac
Yeah.
and cheese.
Yeah. It was queso
had some-
mac and cheese
dude.
with
Had
some
some-
green chilies.
some-
See, that's the type of thing like I'll wake up at 12:30 at night and
Destroy, for sure.
It'll be gone.
That's
Like,
a great
cook it.
comeback from having a good time. Oh, open the fridge. I need something to eat. You know, it's not like Grandma's Boy where he's got like the Jell-O and the chicken cutlet and all that. You just get the queso mac and cheese out. Congrats. Why do I feel amazing when I wake up?
I felt amazing yesterday.
That's exactly right. Let's get to some rapid fire.
All right, let's do it. All right. The Buckeyes had their spring game. Kyle McCord looked good. The wide receivers looked good. But offensive coordinator Brian Hartline was hospitalized afterwards. Sounds like he wrecked an ATV on his property at 1:20 a.m. in the morning. After their spring game, but he did tweet out and said, I appreciate everyone's support. I crashed my side-by-side on my property, have been taken to the hospital for further evaluations. I'm doing well.
Number one, I'm glad he's okay. Obviously, you know, riding four-wheelers at 1:20 in the morning, I was raised in the country too, man. There was only a couple reasons why you're doing that. You're celebrating. Look, this is what happens. You have the spring game. You know, it's spring it's very, very, you know, fast, up-tempo coaching style, so you're kind of exhausted. Then you go celebrate on Saturday night with some of the other coaches, maybe your family. You just got to be careful, man. I just hope you can drive that offense better than you did that ATV. But I'm glad he's all right because, you know, before we put out that statement, you hear ATV crash with a coach. Like, I mean, it's
And we were just
scary.
talking about him last week because Ryan Day handed over the play calling duties for the spring, and then he was involved.
I still don't understand that though.
I don't
like when you look at all of Ohio State's stuff. Like, offense is not the problem. Like, that's the last problem. Well, then I had somebody say, a coach buddy of mine say, well, maybe Ryan Day wanted to help focus a little bit on the defense. It's Jim Knowles, man. Like, this isn't some 19-year-old that you just gave the defensive coordinatorship to. Like, this guy knows defense outside of the horrible game plan against Michigan. Maybe he wants to just take a step back and just be more wholesome with the team.
Maybe he's getting ready for the NFL.
I get that. That wouldn't shock me, but he better beat Michigan. You know,
he'll still get higher in the NFL.
This year, though. Let's don't do it this year.
You don't want this year?
In the future, we can do it. I'm fine him delegating play calling responsibilities. Just do so 100%. You know, he was Ryan Day sort of said last.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Jimbo Fisher.
Do you think Ohio State? Do you think Ohio State wants to slow it down a little bit on offense?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
For the last 15 years, I've been watching them. Their offense hadn't been the problem. Don't change.
I just find it hilarious that, you know, Jim Knowles, you know, at Oklahoma State was part of an offense that went super fast, and then they slowed it down. Then he leaves to another offense that goes super fast. But look, I like Ryan Day. I've got no problem with Ryan Day at all, really. But it's just an interesting move to me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, if anything, come back to the Brian Hartline situation. First of all, nothing good happens after midnight, and definitely nothing good happens if you're in a side-by-side after midnight. Look, we've been out in the country, Mississippi. The things you can do with a side-by-side would blow your mind. I'm glad he's okay. But be careful.
I played against Brian. Incredible player.
Yeah. One time we were in Selma, Alabama, and we were riding four-wheelers with our cousins. And, dude, it was like, it was dark. I think it was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And they had this creek that was about 30 feet below that ran through their property because we had, you know, food plots and stands and all stuff. No corn feeders or anything like that out there. So don't worry about that.
That's good.
So we're riding four-wheelers, you know, where I'm at least 10 to 12 feet, you know, off the side where it falls off into that creek. But I'm going forward, and I'm not going super fast. I hit a down tree, like log. And when I hit it, I tried to go over it. So I hit the gas. Well, it turned me to where I was square on the log. And when I hit the gas, it shot me forward, and I hit the brake right before I went over that 30-foot ravine into a creek with like rocks and stuff below it. Like, horrifying. Closest near-death experience I ever had in my life. Wow. I don't know if I would. Well, I probably 30 feet. That's a long way to fall at night in the dark.
That's
in the middle of Selma.
That hurt.
Okay, nothing good has ever happened after 10:30 at night.
There's Grizzlies in
Selma.
Grizzlies,
leprechauns, chupacabras.
Well, as long as there's no cocaine hippos.
I think Brian Stelter's in there now.
Please God,
please God, no cocaine hippos
waiting for you.
Please, yeah. Oh
God,
this is my nightmare.
All right, a couple other things here. Quinn Ewers will start at quarterback for Texas, just like we suspected.
Can I make a prediction?
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers this year goes pro. Arch Manning, who looked okay, but again, people panic. It's his first spring game in college. Give the man a chance. Anything about Mannings, they're like wine. They get better as they age. I think Malik Murphy's going to transfer, and Arch Manning's going to be the starter year one in the SEC for Texas. It's always been the plan. That's what I said when he signed. I think that's the behind closed doors. Here's a $200,000 dinner. Congrats, you're starting, first year in the SEC.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy take.
No, Malik Murphy's balling.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Malik Murphy, he's a legitimate. Hey, look, I know a place you can go. If
Arch's name will probably carry him to the starting position. Malik,
look,
live a little.
Not too far away.
Well, Quinn just got to stay healthy, man. That's at the end of the day.
Well, he looks like he's in shape.
Yeah, he's got to stay
serious
healthy.
now.
If he can stay healthy, I think Quinn could be one of the best in the league.
Tennessee got a huge 5-star safety from Baltimore, which was a big get from them. And then I wanted to tell you guys this. So Bryce Young scored a 98 on the S2 cognitive test. He scored a 98. It stands as one of the highest scores ever recorded by quarterbacks in recent years. The S2, I guess, is kind of like the Wonderlic test that they do when the draft's coming up. Is another way of measuring quarterbacks' cognitive skills. They had, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, all were among some of the higher scores in the low to mid 90s, and Bryce Young had a 98.
Savant.
Man.
I'm telling you, look, it's going to be so ironic when we look back, and because I think Bryce has a chance to be really special. I know Jalen Hurts is coming on the scene. Jalen did transfer to Oklahoma, but it's going to be crazy when we look back at all the Alabama quarterbacks that won national championships. Jake Coker, Blake Sims. Obviously, you look at Mac Jones and Tua and Jalen and realize that the best one out of the whole group didn't win a natty in Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is going to be the best quarterback, true, pure quarterback that has come out of Alabama in the last 25 years.
From everything I hear within that building, I keep hearing that he's the best quarterback to come through there. Certainly the brightest. I mean, we had, this 98 score backs up what Coach Nick Saban said about
and Bill O'Brien.
And Bill O'Brien in the pre-draft process, suggesting his work ethic and football mind were even better than some on his coaching staff. Now, I've been telling people, pump the brakes with the Drew Brees talk a little bit, just because Drew Brees,
that's not fair to Drew.
Quarterbacks.
That's not fair to Drew or Bryce, really.
League. Yeah, to either one of them. But, I mean, we're getting closer and closer to the draft. I think this kid's going to go number 1 overall, and I think he's going to the few things that he does need to work on, in terms of pushing the pocket and really, and bulking up as well. I think he's going to do all of that stuff, and he's going to bring his football acumen to the game and have success in the league.
How some kids, the parents are like, he took apart a computer and built it back when he was 12 years old, or
Did he really?
He's always been able to, you have some kids who are like, really good at putting stuff back together. They just want to take stuff apart and put it back together. Some people are born to do certain things, and their brains are wired to do certain things. Bryce Young's brain was wired to play quarterback. Not saying he wouldn't be successful in other realms of life. I think Bryce would be really successful. But he was born to, and I don't like to use the term born to do this. I like to use the term built to do this. I think Bryce Young was built to play quarterback in the NFL mentally, physically. He's not the biggest, most imposing guy, but he's very elusive. He understands how to move within the pocket and outside the pocket, and I'm really excited to watch him play.
He stays out of trouble.
Yep.
There's no drama with this kid.
No drama.
I think he might be the best to ever come out of Bama at the end of his career.
At the quarterback position?
I really do. Because I don't care. Like, if I had to choose right now between him and Jalen Hurts, I'm taking Bryce. Between him and Tua,
really?
I'm taking Bryce.
Well, Tua, yeah.
I mean, any other quarterback, Jay Coker, Blake's like any other one, I'm taking Bryce Young.
Mac Jones.
Give me Bryce. 100%.
That's the biggest one.
Richard Todd's still number 1 in our heart.
Oh, you're not touching
for sure.
Richie T.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
That's elevated status.
All right, boys, let's get to the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs, first round. I mean, you guys basically tell me where you want to start, man.
Well, it's a triage tent. I mean, Tyler Hero breaks his hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Job broke his wrist or something like that.
Is it official?
I don't know if it's official yet, but if you saw it, it's not something's not right in that hand. You had Giannis.
Also trying to sky on Anthony Davis from outside the line. I mean, come on.
I respect it.
Well, I want to say I wouldn't do it, but if I could jump that high, I'd try to do it every time, David.
I get it, and this is what you have to deal with that. But continue. Giannis hurt.
Giannis got hurt. Kevin Love was hurt during the game for the Heat.
Davis went out in the first round. Came back.
Thought he was gone for the whole playoffs.
Huh?
Thought he was done.
I thought he was too.
But I mean, it was a rash of injuries. And the more I look around at the West and some of these injuries, I'm looking like, if I'm the Nuggets, maybe the stars are aligning here a little bit with what you're going to have to go through. I want to say this, and I think we go game by game here. Just starting off with the early game. Look, I'm not a big LeBron fan. All right, but I can recognize greatness on the court. And when you watch the Lakers play yesterday, I thought LeBron did a really good job of knowing when to say when. There were times where you felt like he could have been more more dominant a little bit with the shot selection, but overall getting guys involved. I mean, you look at the way the Lakers played. They scored 32 in the first, 27 in the second, 37 in the third, 32 in the fourth. You drop 30 points in 3 out of the 4 quarters against a Grizzlies team that, again, is very talented offensively. I know they've been beat up somewhat through the year, but they got guys that can beat you, and the Lakers aren't the best team in the NBA. But I thought the defense from the Lakers, we talk about offense. You gave up 27 in the first. The Grizzlies got hot in the second quarter, but other than that, you gave up 25 in the third and 22 in the fourth. I know you scored 128 points, but I thought the defense, before Ja got hurt, he had 16 points. He was shooting efficiently, but he wasn't dominating you. You were containing him. Some guys are going to get theirs at some point. You just can't let them be the reason the other team wins. And I tell you what, man, I thought the Lakers played a complete game yesterday.
Yeah, they did. I mean, LeBron had 21, and you had 3 other guys on the Lakers outscore him, which is exactly how he wants it. Who was the kid coming off the bench? The Hashimura?
Hashimura. Between him and Reeves, I think they combined to 56 points.
Yeah.
And the thing about me was the Lakers, you're going to get what you get out of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But if this supporting cast shows up, that the Lakers could turn into a problem. They really could. Yeah. But let's think about the Grizzlies. First of all, I don't want the Jaren Jackson Jr. performance to get
he's incredible, man.
The kid absolutely balled out this game with 31, just controlled. He dominated LeBron in the post for most of this game. But you got to think what the Grizzlies are walking in with or without. No Steven Adams for this series. That hurts, especially when it comes to the defensive side. Now no Ja. If Ja's out, this series...
Oh, you're cooked.
This series
You're cooked.
At the end of the day. Now it turns into how far can the Lakers go? And I'll still go back to it's going to come down to the supporting cast when it comes to the Lakers. If Reeves, Hashimaru, D'Angelo Russell can play good and shoot well and play somewhat good at defense, the Lakers could make a run.
Hachimura, I think that was that. I watched a kid ball at Gonzaga. I know he's a good player. He's not going to do that most nights what he did. I will say this about Austin Reeves, though.
Problem.
Undrafted out of Oklahoma, point guard from OU, was a great player in college. The thing about him is, I call it, he plays with a lullaby pace. It doesn't look super fast, but it's fast enough to get done what he needs to get to the corner, but he makes all the right decisions with the ball. And I know he didn't have the most points out of anybody yesterday. I think he ended with 23, something like that.
29.
But sometimes it's not how many you score. It's when you score. And it was crazy to me to watch the Lakers when it came down to it. Hachimura hitting fadeaway mid-range jumpers, but Austin Reeves playing at a pace that kind of puts you to sleep. But when it comes down to decision-making with the ball, you don't have to be the best athlete on the floor when you make great decisions every time. He shoots when he has to shoot. He passes when he has to pass. He understands who the offense runs through, and he's always on his spot. When you play that efficiency, it's almost like a courier for not being the most athletic guy, which makes you unbelievably dangerous. And if first playoff game he ever played, and was the guy in the fourth, it was Austin Reeves. So now, if you're Austin Reeves, we know you've done stuff all year. How do you adjust when they adjust to you?
Sure.
That's going to tell the story of the supporting cast for the Lakers. Anthony Davis, if he stays healthy, make no mistake, at any point in time, and I call him Mr. Glass from Unbreakable, because it's just a matter of time before he breaks something. But when he's on, he could be the best player on the floor against any team in the NBA. That's how talented he is.
How about the behind-the-back pass Reeves had yesterday?
The kid's nice, man.
Look.
The kid's nice.
He's balling.
Look, Hachimura, I agree with you. He's not going to have this type of game every time, but that's okay because sometimes LeBron's going to freak out for 45.
Exactly
right? It was great in game one for LeBron not to have to do that much, and he still had a great game. To me, what was standing out was the Grizzlies' inability to guard that side pick and roll throughout most of the game. I mean, it was high pick and roll, off to the side. Hachimura's hitting these threes. LeBron hit a couple of those threes. And down the stretch, when Ja went out, you and I were looking at each other and said, Jaren Jackson's putting this team on his back.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just in the post at that point. No. He was hitting threes.
Yeah.
We're like, man, this kid said, put it on my back. I'm gonna win this game for us. But then LA went off for like 15.
Yeah.
If you get to the point to where like LeBron and Anthony are doing their thing, so that dictates the defense are going to key. If you have another third guy who's out here showing up, a third and fourth guy, Lakers going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
Yeah, I do want to say we're doing live call-ins today here. We're going to start taking them in about 10 minutes. It's 1-855-236-3228. But yeah, look, if Ja's out, the Grizzlies are cooked. But before anybody's cooked, there's certain things in life that you need to do to protect your family. All right, you get life insurance, you get a rainy day fund, and you write a will. Now, Epic Will isn't for people who are already wealthy with a massive estate. Those people need an attorney. Epic Will is for people who are building their estate, like we're trying to do. It's for people who are just getting started, because Epic Will provides a simple and secure platform to create a legally binding will in only minutes. The user-friendly interface allows you to easily customize your will and ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes. Don't let the state end up deciding what to do with your stuff. You control your legacy. That's what this is about, because we all know once you're gone, how crazy it can get unless you have this thing buttoned up. And that's why Epic Will's here. All right, so go to epicwill.com/booster to save 10% on Epic Will's complete will package. epicwill.com with promo code BOOSTER. Guys, you can get a last will and testament, living will, healthcare, financial power of attorney in as little as 5 minutes and for just $119. So go to epicwill.com/booster to save 10% on Epic Will's complete package. It's unbelievably important, man.
Man, there's nothing more important to me than my family. And as much as I like to think nothing's going to happen to me, you never know. And I certainly don't want the allocation of my assets to be left to the state. That's for sure.
I could not agree with you more. That's epicwill.com/booster to save that 10%. Do it today if you can, if you haven't already. All right. Next.
All right, hey, the Heat with a big win over the Bucks, 130-117. Giannis went out early, guys. This one, if Giannis can't play, the Heat could be looking at moving on to the next round too.
Well, I mean, you went and stole one already. My thing with the Heat is this: Tyler Hero, wasn't like the Heat got out of this thing unscathed. He broke his hand. He's out. Now Giannis with the back strain, we'll see. That was a tough fall that he took. It's part of what happens when you're a high flyer, man. I mean, sometimes you just land funny. Like that's what happened to Ja. I mean, landed on his hand funny. I think we take for granted sometimes these guys landing. But I want to give a shout out to the old man, Kevin Love. All right. Kevin Love, back end of his career. We know what he did with the Cavs. Played 23 minutes yesterday. The Heat have no depth. Okay. When it comes to depth, they have absolutely nothing compared to other teams. Kevin Love gives you 23 minutes. Cody Martin was in there for 26. Kyle Lowry was in there for 19. But man, Jimmy Butler, you go for 35. You're plus 17 when he was on the court yesterday, the Heat were. You go for 35 points, 3 steals, 5 rebounds, and guess what? Only 3 turnovers. When Jimmy's playing like that and attacking the basket, and they're giving him those fouls at the rim, the Heat look like the physical team to me that I didn't see the first playing game. This is who the Heat are. The Heat are a junkyard. I know they gave up 117. I know, but it seemed like every time the Bucks would get close, the Heat would make some physical play, whether it was going to get a rebound, drawing a foul, an and one. Hell, even Bam Adebayo hit one from the free throw line while he was getting fouled, got a little bit of a lucky roll. But make no mistake, Gabe Vincent goes 4 for 5 from 3. You had Struss, Max Struss. I know he only had 8 points, but they were big points in certain times. The Heat, man, I'm telling you, if they get that physical edge with the way Spoelstra has those guys going, they can win this series. Now, with Giannis out, I mean, it's going to be a whole hell of a lot easier because I love Chris Middleton. Shout out Texas A&M. But
he had 33.
He had 33.
How important his return would be.
He's their guy. They had to run the offense through him. But look, I mean, Drew Holiday, Carter, the kid from West Virginia who, looked like he's 70 years old, took a couple bad shots down the stretch. But, I mean, Drew Holiday goes 2 for 9 from three-pointer. I mean, you got to be better, man.
When it came down to me, when it came to this series, what I was worried about with the Heat was rebounding. Right, I mean, you look at Giannis, tree. I mean, Brook Lopez, tree. Bobby Portis, tree. Right, so, and if you look at the stats of the Heat, only lost a rebound battle by 2. Right, if you're the Heat and you look at that stat at the end of the game, you feel good about a lot of things. What's Bam Adebayo, 6'9", a 6'8", 6'9" range? If Giannis is out, this is a series. Right, this is a series. I think the Heat has just as good as a chance to win as the Bucks. But if Giannis does come back in, I just worry about them getting killed on the glass. Because, look, you can miss all the shots you want, but if you get beat on offensive rebounds, it's hard to win in a lot of basketball games. So we'll see what happens with Giannis. I don't know if Jimmy's going to drop 35 every game.
I don't think he will.
Right, and being out, I think it's going to be big for Caleb Martin now with Tyler Hero being down. I think Caleb came off the bench and had 16, 17 points, which is big.
Yeah, he had 15. He had 3 rebounds, 2 defensive, 1 offensive.
Yeah, so no Tyler Hero. Those points are going to have to come from somewhere. Kyle Lowry, you don't know. So we'll see. I still like the Bucks in the series. Even maybe with Giannis out, I still think the Bucks can win it.
I want to talk about this Suns-Clippers game here. The Clippers got away with game 1, 115-110. We know about Kevin Durant getting traded from the Nets to the Suns in the middle of the season. I'm not a big Kevin Durant fan, but he's still one of the most lethal offensive weapons in the NBA. I think he's second all-time in points per game in the playoffs behind Michael Jordan. I really thought this Suns team could, do something in the playoffs, and maybe they still can, but they open up with a game 1 loss to LA. What do you guys think about this one?
I think the Suns, I will always give the team that won credit. I think the Clippers did win the game, but man, the Suns helped them out a lot. I'm going to read you this, okay? And I want you to guess which team I'm talking about that shot this bad from 3. 1 for 3. I'm going to go through the starting 5. 1 for 3, 3 for 5, 1 for 6, 3 for 7.
That's from 3?
From 3.
The Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers shot that bad and won. Russell Westbrook was 3 for 19 from the floor.
Wow.
And they won. But when you look at the Suns, how in the hell? Somebody explain to me how you have Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul all on the floor and score 18 points in a quarter. How does that happen? Something's with the Suns in the playoffs, man. I don't know if it's CP3, there's some voodoo doll or something somewhere. But what I saw yesterday, the Suns didn't look confident to me. The Clippers played just okay and beat them with a roster that has no business playing okay and beating the Suns. So when I look at this game and I look at this series, the Suns may win the series. I wouldn't be shocked if they came back and won it after the Clips stole the first one. But this does not look like a Suns team to me, and I know it's only one game, but I think you can learn a lot from the first playoff game about some people. The Suns don't look to me like a team that in that West, and if I'm the Nuggets right now, and I'm looking at the way the Suns played, the Lakers look. We'll see. We'll see. The Kings, great story, not scaring the hell out of me. The Grizzlies, Ja Morant may be out now. It's like I said at the beginning. If I'm Jokic and the Nuggets, I'm looking around licking my chops a little bit. So
I don't know if the Kings are slowly turning into a scary basketball.
We'll get to that one in a minute.
But let's remember this. This Clippers team is playing without Paul George. Right? He's going to be gone the entire series.
That's even
ran
worse.
into cyborg Kawhi Leonard. All right? And when Kawhi really turns it on and turns into the Terminator and takes all the emotion out of his game, Kawhi, when he gets going, can be one of the best both side player in basketball when it comes to offensive defense. I think he finished with 38. There came a point in this game where it's Kawhi KD, guys who've been there, guys who know what it feels like to win it. CP3 and Devin will disappear. They will. I've seen it happen. Disappear for long runs when it comes to playoff games. They're in my It's Mid today. I will never believe in the Suns. You can add KD, you could add Moses, all right? Until you win it, I just don't believe in you. I've seen you choke. I saw Luka do things to y'all in a Game 7 that in some places would get arrested for assault. If y'all remember that, Luka was breaking kids' ankles in Game 7, dropping a 43-piece.
Here's my biggest problem. Like, okay, I get it. Kawhi Leonard went off. All right, Kawhi Leonard went for 38. He had 38. He had a block, a steal, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. Hell of a stat line. All right. Nobody else scored 20 points on the Clippers. So we say, wow, Kawhi, Cyborg beat you. Well, then what's the excuse? What's the excuse for the Bucks? I mean, Chris Middleton, when you look at it, had 33, 4 assists, 9 rebounds, including 2 offensive. You let one player beat you. The Suns let one guy beat you. I mean, it just...
Well, look at the Suns.
I used to watch Kevin Durant and Kyrie go for 38 apiece for the Nets and still lose basketball.
Look at the Suns bench. I mean, he scored 10 points.
No, that's my whole point. My whole point is this: I think you'll agree with me. Outside of Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers just played okay, but very okay.
Yeah,
I think I'm being generous talking about some. And I know Russ late made some plays. I'm actually somewhat happy for him after all this crazy stuff. But man, I just tell you, I just don't believe in these cats, man. Said it during the year. I don't believe.
Like the thing about which is most surprising, you're at home, first game, first quarter.
Sure.
You drop 18 points.
18.
Yeah, it's inexcusable, that roster.
So 76ers over the Nets, Celtics over the Hawks. Both those went scratch. The Knicks with a nice win over the Cavs, 101-97. I want to get to that one in just a minute. But first up, the Northern California matchup that we all wanted. Warriors-Kings. Kings with an upset win there. Or, I mean, they're the higher seed, but still 126 over 123. Yeah. Great to see the Kings back in action.
After what we've seen, if the Kings beat the Warriors in the playoff, it's an upset.
I don't care what the seed is.
Yeah,
you call it an upset. Yeah. But did you guys see along the way, Warriors superfan E40 got thrown out of the game there?
They told him when to go. Told him when to go.
What does anybody know what he said?
I don't know what he said.
So let's watch it.
He said it was racial bias. He said he got in an argument with a white woman, and so they kicked him out because he's black. But I want to know what somebody was near there and heard what was said.
So I saw multiple reports on this. Somebody said he was blocking people's view. So we're playing the clip right now. You can see at E40. They're telling him when to go. But now, look, and then you want to get violent.
Now you're gone.
Here's my thing. You're in Sacramento, dog. You're in Sacramento. Okay, you're not in and you're not in Mississippi. All right. I would be shocked if this was racist. To be honest with you, you're in Sacramento. I'm surprised they didn't give you a trophy for getting in an argument with a white person. But I read that he was blocking some people's way. Somebody said something. He said something back. Whatever. I wasn't there. I don't think there's been a great report of it. I just wanted to do that tell me when to go joke.
Well, and it was funny. Blaine, real quickly, I heard a Warriors fan online. He said kicking E40 out of the game should forever end the debate on whether or not Sacramento is officially in the Bay.
Yeah, 100%.
Can I tell you, we went to Sacramento. We played UC Davis when I was in South and flew out to Sacramento. It's the first time I'd ever been to California. And I was so excited the whole week. I was like, we're going to Cali. You know, we're like all listening to California music. This is going to be awesome. So we're going to go to In-N-Out. So I'm like thinking we're going to land at like LAX. You know, it's going to be like LA, you know. We landed in an airport where there's like soybeans and stuff to left and right. We were all looking around like, wait, what? We were in Sacramento. It was the worst. You know the thing I remember about Sacramento outside of we won? And that was our first like eligible year in the paper at UC Davis called us a club team. So we just decided we were going to beat the hell out of them. And then we did. But the thing I remember is first night, I went out to walk around and there was an outdoor mall and I saw a homeless dude with like his eye bulging out.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's what I think of as Sacramento. And I don't think I'm wrong.
Did you journal about it?
Huh? Oh, I journal about it. I wrote it down in my thought book.
I just need to see Dave Chappelle come out with a skit about this situation.
Yeah?
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Once Dave Chappelle comes out with a skit.
Sit down. Dude, there's nothing worse than being at a game.
I can do what I want. I'm a Warriors fan.
Being at a game and just like someone standing up in front of you for no reason. And it's down for like 5.
Tell me about it.
It's down for like,
I hate doing
minutes.
Because I know people can't see behind me.
It's like,
I have to deal with this in church sometimes too. I'm like, man, they're so mad at me right now.
Dude, it's not like
I can't even see Jesus.
It's not even 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Standing up at big moments after something happened to clap it up, I'm fine with it. But if you're just standing up, it's like people who walk into the elevator first who don't let the people walk out. Like that just irks me, man.
That's a no.
It irks me.
That's a good
Let the people walk out of the elevator before you walk in.
That's a good one.
But Kings, man, huge win.
Huge for them.
My favorite game to watch.
Excited for that. I'm rooting for them. I hope the Kings.
I watched it from start to second.
I didn't know this whole time I was a Kings fan.
Me neither.
Who'd have thought?
I bet him. I bet a money line.
There you go.
That's right. I bet a money line. Shout out Nighthawk.
Yeah.
There you go, Nighthawk.
Yes. Speaking of Nighthawk and shout-outs, we're taking calls right now, 1-855-236-3228. The Nuggets destroyed the Timberwolves. Surprise, surprise. I don't think anybody's shocked by that as well. But again, just a great weekend of NBA basketball.
And then the Knicks. Well, anything on the Knicks quickly with a nice win over the Cavs?
Julius Randle, man, I love watching Julius play.
Yeah.
I want to see what the Giants made the playoffs. The Jets almost did, and it looks like they may be getting Aaron Rodgers. They can figure it out. Could we be living in a situation where the Giants, the Jets, and the Knicks are all good at the same time? That's like a Spider-Man multiverse that I don't even know if it's existed on all 38 of the Spider-Man.
Seems like the Jets are being stingy with what they want to give up.
The Cavs look, I don't think the Cavs are going to shoot that bad again. I mean, this game was sluggish from start to finish. I think No, what did the Cavs shoot? Not great. If they shoot that bad again, I want to see. The Knicks got the guys to win it. Jalen Brunson, problem. Julius Randle, problem. Robinson, the backup center, problem. So
no, Mitchell's the starting center.
is he starting?
Yeah, hell yeah. I believe Mitchell Robinson's starting. I think he led the league in offensive rebounds.
Dude, just an absolute tree.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. But you ready?
Oh, look, it's mid today. I forgot.
Yes, it's mid.
I need to find out what's mid, Blaine.
Yeah, let's get after it, fellas. Let me get a little hit of this coffee.
Yeah, get some. You want to...
my phone, David.
Huh?
The golden tumbler.
Yeah, it feels good, Dave. Do you remember that one time you thought you were going to win that?
You know what? I'm doing a segment today.
Yeah.
All right, Smile.
Go, Blaine sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I look Jackson Louis Vici, or what's up? All right, but hey, run that graphic. Run that graphic. The Suns. If y'all blowed again, you need to start over. Devin Booker's just worried about looking good on the court. CP3 is getting so old, the last airport he went to is with the Wright brothers. If you lose again, I wouldn't be surprised if you wake up the next day and Kevin Durant's playing for the Clippers.
Next chapter.
It's Kevin Durant. Are you surprised? No, it's Jafar. All right, next. People who are upset at Jaron Jones from LSU baseball. If you don't talk crap in baseball, I'm sure they'll be willing to give you a room in the White House.
For sure.
All right. Can we just let the boys be boys, sit down, enjoy baseball, and Bama fans, enjoy your Bud Light? All right. Next up, I don't know if y'all heard about this. Russell Westbrook got into another altercation over the weekend with a Suns fan after a stunning performance going 3-19 from the field. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him on the next episode of Love Island. With all the drama surrounding this guy, Russ, I'd be careful. Because these days, if you get an altercation, you really don't know who you're getting an altercation with. This guy could kick you in the head. The next thing you know, Adam Sandler's trying to get you to fall in love with him. And at the end, probably the most surprising me over the weekend is Donald Trump Jr. Ooh. Came out in the defense of Bud Light, which was probably the most surprising thing to me over the weekend. He said, don't let one person in the marketing ruin the brand of Bud Light. It's amazing how quickly someone can get bought off in politics. But I'll just say this. I'll tell this as a kid that completely changed my mindset and how I would act. It only takes 6 words. Don't make me tell your father.
Oh,
I like that.
That's it.
I like that.
Palladium.
I like that.
Donald Trump Jr., huh?
What are you doing, bro?
It's like, come on, man. I don't want to dive down the road here, but if you didn't see, he came out and defended Bud Light, and Bud Light.
Donald Trump Jr. did.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let's.
We have a great segue here.
Great segue.
Right.
Great segue.
Yeah.
Go
you want me to read the
Yeah, just a little gist of it. Yeah.
Just a gist of it? Quote unquote, here's a statement.
Yeah. It wasn't an apology.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. And nobody takes accountability. Nobody can say, hey, we were wrong nowadays. Nobody. In any point of power, anybody that runs anything won't come out and say, you know what? We screwed up. Sorry. You know what would have been a lot better than this? Basically saying, well, I'm not okay and you're not okay, but that's okay. But hey, man, I was in the military, so it should, whatever. Why don't you just come out and say, guys, guess what? We screwed up. It's on me. It's my job to run this thing, and I didn't do a good job of making the beer about the beer. And you come out and say, listen, I just want people when they drink Bud Light to just know, hey, you're drinking a good beer that doesn't hate you for what you believe. I don't care about all this other nonsense. We're not telling you you're a horrible person because you don't love what Dylan Mulvaney's doing. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make great beer. We're going to be an American company, even though we sold out a while ago. You could have went about this in such a different way that could have brought more people to Bud Light, in my opinion, because nobody takes accountability. Oh, withdrawal from Afghanistan's a disaster. People are hanging off planes. I don't see the chaos. No accountability. The economy's in the toilet. Not our fault. It's everybody else's fault. Nobody takes responsibility or accountability these days. Someday, one of these brands is going to be smart, and when they do screw up, they're going to come out and own it and face it like a man. But this is a coward's way out, in my opinion, and this makes me want to drink Bud Light even less than I did before.
He talked about the importance of accountability. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter about taking accountability. Talking about the importance.
It's all bull, man. Somebody needs to stand up. We've lost our way. Nobody will stand up and say, you know what, we screwed up. That's on us. And like I said, the first people that would do it you'd probably get more business than what you thought.
So he said, we never intended to be a part of a discussion that divides people.
What do you mean?
Well, then you failed.
Yeah.
Talking about bringing people together. My time serving this country, like
here we go,
taught me the importance of accountability. Well, then let's do that.
Well, then let's be accountable, man. Obviously, you didn't learn anything. So don't give me with your sob story about how it's so hard for you or whatever. You're a coward. And Donald Trump Jr., in my opinion, coming out and defending it, you can tell somebody's trying to get in the good graces of somebody.
Money. They paid him off for sure. The thing with me, it's an accountability problem. I don't think it's a race problem. I think it's a character problem, right? We're getting to the point now where everyone uses race as a crutch to divide everybody, but I think we just have a character problem at the end.
We do have a character. Nobody will take responsibility
on this whole like boycott business and Bud Light sales tanking and all that kind of stuff. What you have to understand is how large this portfolio is. So if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to buy any more Bud Light, but I'm just going to I'll get Michelob or something like that. You have to understand, man, they're all in the same portfolio. So if you truly don't want to support companies that don't share your values, you have to do your research.
Yeah. Well, if I make a prediction one week and then it turns out wrong, guess what I'm doing the next one? I'm coming out here and saying I was wrong. My prediction was wrong. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's the people in power on all sides. This isn't a one-side thing. Nobody can admit that they made a mistake. Nobody could show humility and admit they were wrong. And that is a huge problem because when you don't admit when you're wrong, you don't recognize the problem and you smooth everything over and you try and just dodge consequences or accountability instead of facing it head on. So
I remember back in the day,
problem.
The Bud Light had the Bud Night and everything was dilly-dilly.
Oh, yeah.
I remember growing up, I think I was in college, man. I was in college, but that was like peak Bud Light moments for sure. And
they had a lot of good ones, man.
Oh, dude, now we're doing
wild. Just absolutely wild.
Yeah. Calls?
You about ready? You want to go to the Booster Club first?
Yeah, I got some donations we got to get to be honest.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Let's go to Ryan Gay with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Ryan. He says, happy mid-Monday. Start bitch cut, Blaine. IPA's purple Gatorade mint chocolate chip. Choosing violence this morning, Ryan. I see that.
God, drinking purple Gatorade with mint chocolate chip. I like mint chocolate chip ice cream, but that's like what they serve in hell.
I would probably start mint chocolate chip ice cream. I would bench purple Gatorades, and I'd cut IPAs.
There we go.
Really? You would cut IPAs?
Yep, they're not good. I'm sorry.
You would rather drink purple Gatorade than an IPA?
If I'm thirsty enough, all right? If I just if it was at the end of a practice or something like that, I don't care what the Gatorade is. Just give it to me. Mint chocolate chip, if I'm hungry enough, I'll eat it.
Good to see you starting mint chocolate
IPAs, chip. I can't be drunk enough to drink an IPA. I promise you.
Ugh, I don't mind a good craft IPA. I'm not going to go drink 8 of them. I feel like I just shoved a whole turkey down my throat. But 7.
Smooth 7. Let's go to Colin with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Colin. Says, any hope for Tennessee baseball averaging around 2 errors per game?
I'm going to tell Tennessee fans this. I think you guys are going to go further this year than you did last year. Watch this team make them. Watch how baseball works. That's how it works. It's basically slugfest last year. You got a video game team full of creative players. Don't make it past the supers. This team still got really good players, not playing super consistent. I bet y'all go to Omaha. Look, you went to Arkansas for a 3-game series, okay? What's in the box?
Let's go to Proud Scooter Moms. Just in a complete separate note, I saw the movie Air about Nike's plan to secure Michael Jordan. It's interesting to learn the backstory. I liked it. That's the last time I'll have to buy anything to do with Nike. We're actually going to watch this here pretty soon and do a reaction.
Yep, we're going to have a reaction on it. I just, like you said, I can't get over Ben Affleck's hair. Just doesn't look right.
It's just weird. I can't get over it at the end of the day.
He's not Ben Affleck. He's that character. Curl. He is that character.
Yeah, but like it just doesn't fit him. Like I'm just like, you're not that.
All right, let's go to the Hayford. She says Adam Sandler has earned the right to woo anyone he wants. Woo. Apparently Adam's going on like a comedy tour.
Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard his stand-up's not great.
Not great, yeah.
Man, I told you guys, Richard went up to New York for the Jet signing this weekend with the old Sack Exchange and stuff. He sends me a picture. He's like, yeah, Adam Sandler stopped by. Huge Jets fan. We got a picture together. Like, this guy, why didn't you bring the crew, man?
Yeah, it's like next time we go up there and hang out in Studio 57 or whatever it is.
I want to pitch a movie.
Yeah, Adam Sandler. Look, I got a couple ideas.
Let's go to the Hayfords. Any of you guys want to mention the UFC wins for Holloway or Barboza from the weekend yet? Dude, I
talked about this.
Yeah, you bet on Holloway.
Yeah. You bet on Holloway? This is a good fight, dude. I went all 5.
Yeah.
Went
on decision.
The thing about Max,
I thought it was a good card.
Yeah, I think about Max is just I love watching Max fight. Just he's so in and out, right? Like his stand-up's so nice, his ground game's so nice. He's just so hard to hit. Like the way he moves, he is just so hard to hit. Let's go to Deacon and Nora. Just want to know, do you think the Clippers can win this series?
Yes.
I mean, hell, you won game one. I mean, you're 1-0 right now. On the road, you already stole one. Mission accomplished in those first two. You'd love to get two, but stealing one is huge. And yeah, I mean, if you're the Suns right now, are you looking around at everybody in the locker room saying, what happened? I mean, you slow down Kawhi. That was a great point. But I mean, Kawhi did go for 38, but Kawhi could go for 38 again. That's the thing.
Is Paul George out the whole series?
Yeah.
He's out the whole series.
He might be out the whole playoffs.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, if they're doing this, like, if you're the Suns and you get put out by the first round,
you got to break it up.
It's done.
Got to break it up.
It's done. Like, what do you move, Kevin? Do you move DeAndre Ayton?
I'd have to see.
Who do you keep out of the four?
I would CP3. I mean, it's done. DeAndre, just because he's kind of different than any of those other guys. I mean, he's a front court guy as opposed to really guards. We're talking about even with Durant. Kevin Durant's so good, though. It's almost hard to... CP3's had his time with the Suns, right? Hell, Devin Booker's had his time with the Suns. Devin's been in the league for a minute. KD, it's his first year there. DeAndre Ayton's had his time, but he's a front court guy. So if it's me, I'm starting with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. That's me. All right,
let's go to Stephen Moore. It says, Jake's next Halloween costume should be Awesome-O. He's just pitching Sandler movies.
Yeah, Awesome-O 3000. Like going to eat toothpaste.
All right, let's get to Zaki Andrew. He says, Bud Light screwed up my jumping in feet first. There's no way they can walk it back. If they did, the other 50% would be boycotting them. If you're a company, just stop getting into politics.
That's the first good decision. Make it about the product, right? Make it about the product, not about groups of people. When you make it about the product, you don't have to apologize for things. You don't have to say, oh, excuse me, we screwed up. But I'll always err on the side of when you screw up, you don't come out and dodge it. You don't come out and duck it. You take it right on. You take it right on and say, I made a mistake. I messed up. It's on me. It won't happen again. We're just going to focus on making beer. All right? That's either, because it's one of two things. Either you knew, and you knew it was going to divide people when you put it out there, or you're a terrible CEO because you don't know what your marketing team's doing. There's a lot that goes on for a CEO to keep track of. But I can make damn sure one thing. I'm going to know what marketing's doing.
You're knowing. You know if someone from marketing is about to put this out.
Yeah.
There's no way you don't.
First off, you don't hire, I don't care, DEI, CEI, CIA. I'm not hiring one of these idiots that really aren't good at anything other than finding ways for people to be oppressed. They're useless, in my opinion.
All right, Texas Ed, he says, is this the curse of Charles Barkley? No team that he played for has won a championship after he played for him.
It's terrible.
Oh, Chuck.
Oh, Charles.
Absolutely
terrible.
That's terrible, man.
Terrible.
That's San Antonio is the fat women.
Yeah. It may be.
Churro.
It may be. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes what's that song? I'm the problem, it's me.
I haven't heard that
Are
one.
you Swifty?
Is that Taylor Swift that sings that?
Swifty, but no,
She's finally
it's good
admitting
for her. She's finally admitted she's the problem.
Growing.
It's not Trent's fault.
You're John.
Or she just broke up.
Swifty.
She just broke up with somebody else too. She's like,
You're
man,
Swifty?
Derek.
No.
Leave her alone. She's getting another album out of that.
I heard she's the leader of Illuminati, to be honest. Allegedly.
Wouldn't surprise
Allegedly.
Me.
Wow.
Wouldn't surprise me. But speaking about the Illuminati, calls are ready.
Hey, Pongo alert.
Pongo.
Red 7.
Yeah,
and
Pongo.
it's Craig from Ohio. Craig, what's going on?
You got a list?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem, Craig. What's up?
Hey, all right. Okay, I know you guys have been talking about playoffs and, end of season and everything like that. I want to kind of go to the opposite end of the spectrum for a second, all right? So I've been a Blue Jackets fan in hockey since 2000, back in the old line, Ron Tugnut days. I've been following them ever since. Always loved my team, right? So here's my question. Thursday night, they're playing the Penguins. They got a chance at getting the number 1 overall pick if they just lose out. They lose against the Penguins, lose against the Sabres. Got a chance of getting Connor Bedard, generational talent, right? And they go out and they beat the Penguins in overtime. End up, at the end of everything all said and done, they finish second last. So here's my question. I was on social media on Friday morning, and people were just excoriating the Blue Jackets, right? Just like, I'm never following this team again. I am never getting a ticket to their game again. They're terrible. They can't even tank right, that sort of thing. But here's my thing, right? They got 4 players in that game that are making their NHL debut, right? Mm-hmm. First time in the pros, in the league. You know, they're in the show, right? Mm. How can I tell these guys, all right, hey, go up, but listen, kind of play hard, but you got to try and lose this game, all right? Because we got to try and tank for this Bedard kid. I guess to me it's like, well, what's your take on this on tanking and people just raking teams that don't tank hard enough over the coals like that?
Yeah, when it comes to tanking, when you're programmed to try and win all the time, that's a hard thing to turn off. Here's how you try and tank. You know how you try and tank? You try and have 4 guys that have never played in the NHL before start. That's how you try and tank. You didn't think they were going to go out there and win the game. That's the problem. When you play young guys, that's the best way to tank.
They want to do well.
It's not even about them wanting to do well. It's, hey, it's your first time in the NHL. Yeah. You're probably all not going to play good, but we lose. You get experience. We get a great player. It just backfired. That's the best way to attempt to tank is by what they did. And look, Brad Larson getting fired, I agree with it. I agree they should have fired him. But not because of obviously what happened the last time. You try and tank by playing young guys who you think aren't going to play well. And what do? When it's good, when it rains, it pours, right? When it rains, it pours. So what do? They go out there and beat the Penguins in overtime. They play above their head for a game. So I don't blame anybody for that. I think they went about it the right way. They just happened. Also, have the young guys play.
The term tanking is not a single game experience.
That's true.
All right, you do this over multiple games. You can't just go out and tell professional guys like, "Hey, you got to go out and lose today." Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You can't.
It's not going to happen. If you're tanking for the majority of the last quarter of a season or something, that's different. If that's part of a strategy, but one game. You're relying on one game.
And
this is what
for a generational pick.
This is what the Texans.
For a generational pick.
I don't care if it's for what is generational.
But how do you? Okay, Blaine. How do you though? Like you're saying, what do you say? You don't go to the players and say, y'all need to play bad today. You do exactly what they did.
Forfeit the game and take the fine the NHL imposes on you. Say that much about it. And another thing on the generational pick thing is, and we just saw this with the Houston Texans, and now the Chicago Bears got the number 1 pick, traded at Carolina in the NFL. We know all that kind of stuff. But if you're relying on one guy to completely turn your franchise around, you need a new GM is what you need. Because you should be doing better in the first place.
I agree with that. And I don't know who this kid is getting picked first, right? But so you got Bryce Young, all right? And you have 1 game left in the season, okay? If you're not telling the players, you're telling the coach, right? You need to lose this game for him, right?
Well, how do you, again, you're not telling the players, so what is the best way to lose a game?
Hockey-wise, I don't know.
No.
It's got to be schematically.
In general, the best way to lose a game is by playing people that have never played at that level before. That's what you do, and that's what they did, and they won.
Hey,
but
sucks. You can talk. Last point on it, I saw Bill Belichick win 6 world championships without ever having the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, you had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Who you got in the 6th round? That's my point. You found the great white buffalo.
Who you got in the 6th round?
Soon, if you just run into a jackpot, congratulations.
Yeah. All right, we got to move on. Craig, thanks so much, buddy.
Appreciate that call, man.
Appreciate it. Good call.
Great call. All right, Gavin, Pennsylvania. What's going on, man?
Hey, fan of the Flames, guys.
What's up?
Thinking with college football, the spring practice is coming to end. I'm trying to manage my expectations a little bit. What is realistic expectations for a situation, especially with Liberty, new coach coming into a conference? Is it fair for me to expect conference championship, or do I need to check that a little bit?
Again, you've had a lot of turnover. Great. You look at Jamie Chadwell and Grayson McCall not coming over with Jamie Chadwell. I love the hire going to get Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina. I think he's fantastic. Just for that reason, I think you guys are going to be successful. This year, when you look at Liberty's depth, I mean, there's some spots you feel really good about, but anytime you go to a new conference or you're going to a new league, there is that element of surprise a little bit, right? You can sneak up on people in that first year. I just wonder up front, if Liberty's good enough to be able to hang through that whole conference schedule and be as effective as they were in spots, like against Arkansas and in these big games where they would show up and play well and things like that. I just don't know if the depth up front is where it needs to be to go win the conference championship the first year. But you got the right guy in Jamie Chadwell, and you can win at Liberty.
I got their schedule right here if you want to run through it real quick. You got week 1, you got Bowling Green.
Yep.
All right, then you go to New Mexico State at home. You go to Buffalo. You go to FIU. You have San Jose State at home. You go to Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee State at home. You go to the Hilltoppers of West Kentucky, Louisiana Tech at home, Old Dominion at home, UMass at home. Then you go to UTEP at the end of the year.
I mean, there's a lot of winnable games. 8, 9 out of that at least.
A lot of wins in there.
And again, Liberty, I want to give them credit for joining a conference. Thank you. Welcome to the 21st century. Can y'all call Notre Dame for a second, too, and just kind of tell them how great it is?
And hiring Hugh Freeze and Jamie Chadwell back-to-back just shows you how serious Liberty is about being.
And they got this to do
I'm
it.
still surprised Jamie Chadwell left.
Yeah, they got the money to do it.
Yeah,
Got a ski resort on campus.
Gavin,
thanks
for calling
buddy.
in, man. Call again soon. All right, Ben from Missouri. Ben, how you doing, man?
Hey, good, guys. I think I'm going to do a call sign here.
Do it.
I don't think Bearcat is taken.
What, is this a Northwest Missouri State reference?
Yes.
Let's go! Shout out my buddy David Tollefson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know when he went. I graduated last year, so I don't know if we ever went to school together.
Dave played, won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. He was with Strahan, a defensive end, played at Northwest Missouri State. I think he's in the Hall of Fame, whatever there.
Wow.
Hell of a player, hell of a guy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and I think it's pretty close to, you have some history with Iowa Western, right, Jake?
Yes.
Yeah, not too far from us then.
Nope.
So I'll get right to it. I know that Blaine's taken some heat from the Jacks about, chats and stuff, but I got to agree with him and give him some relief here. I was listening about the IPAs, man. I'm totally with him.
Yes, thank you.
Me too.
If I can't see through the beer, I don't trust it. If it's in a glass,
that's like me with the water.
I don't really like it.
So no Guinness for you guys either. Then.
No.
No, that's not even an IPA.
That's a different.
It's just like the thing. It's just like the aftertaste with IPAs. They all just taste terrible. They all taste the same. They all taste bad.
How about you just grow up?
Just give me a Miller Lite. All right, just give me a Miller Lite. That's all I need. Look, I'll drink a Coors. Give me the Silver Bullet. That's fine. I'll drink a Modelo. Modelo's a quality beer. But any IPAs, and they try to trick you. It's like, well, this one's close to Miller Lite, or this one was brewed under a mountain in Greece. They all taste the same.
Is that what they say to you?
Yeah.
That it was brewed under a mountain?
What IPA is
I agree
that?
with you guys on the IPAs, but a nice
I like
stout.
IPAs. Don't agree with me. I like
stout.
IPAs.
No, I'm talking about him.
Oh,
and Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Love you, Ben.
I'm good with IPAs. Save more for the rest of us then.
Yeah, well, I mean, I drink Yingling now anyway because they just got to Missouri and they're an American company too. So only brewery in America.
Yeah. Smart.
Solid beer.
So, yeah, my question's with the Colorado Rockies. So, of course, I'm a Broncos fan, a Nuggets fan, so I'm excited that they destroyed the T-Wolves last night. And the Avalanche are doing okay too. But the one franchise in Denver that can't seem to get it together is the Rockies. And they had a couple winning seasons back, 2017, 18, I think a couple 90-win seasons back-to-back, and we went to the playoffs, and it was a good time, and it was a generally exciting time to watch the games. Cohn's talked about how I can't watch the games anymore because of all these networks. But my question is, do you think these guys are going to get serious about winning anytime soon, because they really peeved off Arenado, and then he left and went and played for the Redbirds here in Missouri. So I don't know if they're going to be serious anytime soon and catch up with everybody, because it seems like even the Broncos are able to put it together here with Sean Payton.
Yeah, first off, love the Rockies Park. Love it. When watch batting practice there, got to watch the whole game. Coors fantastic. Here's my thing. It's all cyclical, right? These things come in cycles. Hell, I remember Mike Hampton for the Rockies. How about that name? Mike Hampton out there balling, pitching, and hitting back when the Rockies were serious. But they've rolled through some really talented players. I mean, not just Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story. I know that there were some injuries problems there. Ubaldo Jimenez, guys like that. But when I look at the Rockies, and I'm looking here in the National League West, the Dodgers, we know how serious they are. The Padres, obviously we know how serious they are. And the Giants are one of the most winning organizations in Major League Baseball. The D-backs have even had success. I mean, at some point, you would think the Rockies would do it. But I don't think it's a not loving baseball thing. I just think they have they kind of have nonchalant management. What do I mean by that? It's, we'll go with what's popular, or we're fine with just having a couple big names and going through spurts. It doesn't seem to me like they're serious year after year about building a championship roster. It's almost like the Rockies organization just tries to get through the season, and it's fallen into irrelevancy, which sucks because I think Colorado's an underrated baseball state if you've ever actually been there. Like, they care about baseball in Colorado. People in Denver care about the Rockies. But at the end of the day, the Rockies have not made the decisions to either keep people or go say, you know what, we want to build a Frankenstein team. Kind of like the Rams did. Let's just go out and get some guys. Let's see if we can put together a monster for a year, maybe two, go win one, and then blow it all up. They won't even do that. They're just, it's the average Joe's gymnasium way of thinking. I'm not okay, and you're not okay, but that's okay.
But they won
for
at
the
the
Rockies.
They won.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the Rockies do.
Let's hope so.
Not just for me.
Ben, I'm glad you brought up my complaints about not being able to see Major League Baseball teams because I have an update for you. So my son's godmother, Gigi, was in town this weekend. She comes from a Major League Baseball family, and she finally convinced me to give MLB TV a chance. And I did this weekend, and it was fantastic. It really was phenomenal. I could watch any game I wanted to, and then they have like sort of similar to an NFL Red Zone situation on the home screen where you can have a 4-box of the games with no commercials.
Solid 4-box.
So MLB TV, I have to say that so far, small sample size. I'm sure there are some people in the Booster Club who have complaints. Maybe they can share with us. But so far, it was top notch. And I was talking to this with a couple NHL fans, and they were saying that's all I want for hockey. I'd love to be able to just pay, the league whatever amount of money they want, so I can see the games I need without having to have 3 different streaming services basically to watch.
That's how it should be.
Yeah,
to be honest. But think about the Rockies. I mean, you're 16th right now in the Major League when it comes to revenue. Right, you're with the Mets and the Cardinals and the Padres. So like the Rockies should be playing better than what they are. So maybe it's some upper office decisions that need to get made.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, man. Great call.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Ben, we're on the IPAs.
Call again soon,
We'll do
man.
Friday in the garage.
When they make that midseason turnaround, we want to hear from you again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, after they listen to the show.
Anthony from down the road in Clarksville. What's going on, Anthony?
Las Vegas.
Hey guys, 2 Eagles here. So I just went this past week. A couple of really cool things happened. Went on a trip with my lady. You guys, some old friends in Virginia, and we're driving on our way out Thursday, and I missed you guys' show, and so we're watching it like mid-morning. And my wife, for a long time, has had an irrational fear, being from Tennessee, of hippos.
No!
You guys impressed her that you guys cleared the minimum bar of the fear and respect you guys show for hippos.
Good.
I would just roll my eyes and she's like, we gotta let more people know about it.
Yeah, well, there's a reason. There's a reason, Anthony. The game's called Hungry Hippos. Okay? It's not called, hey, let's sit down and do some math, or hey, let's make a picnic and go laugh at the other animals. Yeah.
The good thing about it is, like, you're in Tennessee, so you don't have to worry about hippos.
I don't know. You've been
You're
to
not
Walmart
going to walk outside. You're not going to walk. What'd you say?
You've been to Walmart after 11 at night?
No, I haven't.
I saw a lady swimming through there the other day.
Oh, no. That one
If
got
there's
me.
ever having a rational fear of something, it's hippos in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right. But no, the night before that, I was getting some stuff. I have a little workshop on the side of the house, and we store our luggage and stuff in there. And so I'm grabbing luggage, and I hear this thumping sound on the other side, on the outer wall of my workshop.
Hey, what part of Virginia were y'all in?
No,
West.
this was at home.
West.
Oh, is that home? Okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And so I'm crawling around the house to see what this thump is, and my son is just throwing a tennis ball up against the wall. And all of a sudden, my juices start flowing. I'm like, I'm teaching my son how to play wall ball.
The best recess game ever.
starts.
That and Jackpot. 2 best recess games ever. I will die on that hill.
Dude, he was he was kind of furrowing his brow and questioning me when I was asking him to let me peg him.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, nowadays,
certain areas.
yeah. That started out as pirates, then getting hit by a ball. Nowadays, it's something different.
Yeah. 5 minutes in, he Derek Jeters me, and it was a proud dad moment. He freaking just square back of the head me right before I hit the wall.
Yeah.
Hits how it starts.
Check it out. He's getting into it. He gets it, and I was just going to say, wall ball, man. There needs to be a professional wall ball league. That was my jam.
Maybe have some wall ball. Maybe have some pickleball coming in the future.
Yeah.
Little cornhole. The reason I got good at sports is not because I went and played rec ball or anything. Because I played them in the backyard.
Yes.
Like baseball,
throwing balls off the brick wall,
like playing yard golf, just going around and hitting certain things in the yard to see who can hit it the first. That's the reason you get good at sports.
Yeah. Well, see, to do that though, you have to go outside, and that's half the problem. But the kids are kind of
wall ball, great recess game, jackpot, great recess game.
Yeah.
Smear the kid.
Yeah.
Great.
Smear the
yeah, you can't say it. Yeah. That was the funnest.
Smear Randall.
Well, it's like the thing about this is like when you go back to like school, especially in elementary school, like girls on the last day of school is like they're all missing each other. Like boys, when it came to the last day of school in PE, it's the Super Bowl, dog.
Yeah,
like it's
a Super Bowl.
This is
field
all.
Day?
This has all the marbles on the line
for
this day today. You're Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that's exactly
have bragging rights through the summer.
Yes, sir. Exactly. It's a real thing.
Oh, man. Anthony, thanks for
Two Eagles, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Last one today, boys. Got to get this one in quick. Cody from Illinois.
Oh, Cody. All right, let's dance. Hit us with it.
All right. Who's ready to play? What year is it?
Let's do it.
Me.
All right. So
play that every morning I wake
we're
up.
reading you guys 5 clues from a specific year, and you guys are going to tell me what year it is. And once again, I will ask you guys not to use any electronic devices.
Electronics off.
All right. Collegiate champion. The San Francisco Dons won the NCAA tournament in men's basketball.
It's not a good start for us.
Good start.
The Cleveland Browns were NFL champions.
Don't believe you. No year. Never happened.
Sensational rookie. Elston Howard bats .290 in 97 games, becoming the first African-American to play for the New York Yankees. Individual accomplishment. After a 9th-round knockout of Archie Moore at Yankee Stadium, Rocky Marciano retires from boxing as world heavyweight champion, sporting a 49-0 record with an impressive 43 knockouts. Significant event. At the 24-hour of Le Mans motor race in Le Mans, France, debris from a crash killed 83 spectators, with 180 more spectators suffering serious injuries, and the race would go on. What year is it, fellas?
Man, this is a tough one. All right, first African-American player for the Yankees? Gosh, all right, David, you got any context clues here? Is there anything jumping out?
The Browns.
At least somebody else finally won the WCC other than Gonzaga.
The Browns championship, man. I'm thinking.
Yeah, when was Cleveland?
70?
Let's get the years, right?
That would have been after the merger. So it's late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Let's go. He didn't say Roger Maris.
When did Rocky
home run record with
Rocky
all that stuff? I would say give me, and I'm just going out on a limb right here, but I can just see it in my head. I'm smelling 1958.
58 kind of feels good to me too.
I don't know.
58, it can't be past 65 or 60.
It feels like
I just don't think we went to the moon 40 years after the first African American.
When did the Browns? How many championships did the Browns won?
Not a lot.
They won a lot pre-merger.
Yeah,
I think they were 60. It can't have been after 65 because the Packers were winning everything.
All right, so we're gonna go. What are we thinking here?
I'm thinking 60, 61.
You want to go 19? You want to go 1960?
I could go 60.
I'll go 60.
Let's do it. 1960.
All right, 1960 is your guys' final answer?
Yes.
All right, it is not.
Dang it! You blew it. What is it?
It is not over, guys. It's not over, guys. We have one last clue to try to win the game. So for incorrect responses after the 5 initial clues, you'll be read one last clue. Today, this clue will be from one of 2 specific categories. You will together choose which category I will read the clue from. And those 2 categories today are as follows. A night at the movies. This will be a clue from a movie scene based in the year in question. Once again, that is based in the year in question. And then the other one is the fans have gone mad. This will be a clue from the year in question where fans riot due to a decision that was made against their team.
Movie. Let's go movie.
Let's go
I feel
movie.
like you know your bag's deep
Come
in
on.
that.
Come on.
All right. A young Michael J. Fox can be seen shredding it on stage at Hill Valley High School's Enchantment under the Sea Dance.
Okay. So that's
Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Back to the
Chuck Berry.
Future. God, what was Back to the Future? 60s, right?
50.
Back to the Future was 50s?
55.
55?
probably.
55?
55. 1955, because Elvis was coming on the scene. I'm thinking 55.
All right, we'll go 1955.
All right. It is 1955.
I love ya. Oh, Cody, great
I'll
stuff,
see Johnny
buddy.
be good all day.
Oh,
man.
I thought our record was going to go. I thought we were cooked. That's a great job by you. I'm so proud of you.
Hey,
I don't know if I've ever been proud of anybody's name.
what a prepared question.
Yeah.
No, look, Cody always
Cody, well done.
man.
sir.
Yeah, Cody, it's always great, buddy. Thank you. All right, cool.
Thanks, man.
All right.
All right, boys. That's it.
All right, Blaine, Booster Club. I get weird about saying Blaine now. Like I can't even say it.
Yeah,
on
I know.
Monday. Anything with the Booster Club?
Chat, well done. Well done, chat.
What'd they have?
55.
They had it even before the final clue?
Well, no. They had 61. All right. We went with 60. But then he gave the final clue, and a lot of them gave 55.
Nice. All right, this is the Booster Bets. Brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Sign up with code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Here's what we got tonight.
Over here doing.
Baby Sore's dad said, dude, smear the Mulvaney back in the day was the best.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, give me the Canes and Bruins money line parlay plus 131.
Yes.
And then give me the Sixers Nets over 213. I don't know if they're going to shoot the way they both did the first game, but I hope so. So I'm going to take the over.
Canes Bruins parlay. Bet buds, you and me, man.
Wow, that.
Look at that.
That
Replacement Cone is talking to HR today, but until he does, give me the same parlay plus 131. And then the Tampa Bay Rays money line minus 140. I told you guys last Friday.
Yep.
You did.
I said,
Call the Predators, too.
huh?
Hey,
Call the Predators, too.
yeah, you did.
I got that one wrong.
Yeah, I know. Let's go.
Blaine,
Get out
Blaine,
of here.
I want you to read.
You're out of here, mister.
I want you to read it.
All right, I'm taking 4 bets today. Ended up, I think, going even on the weekend. Cardinals, you win by
Congrats.
1. Losers. All right, give me the Rays minus 1.5. That's plus 114. Come down to the Cards minus 1.5. That's plus 132. And then give me the Blue Jays on the road minus 1.5. That's plus 138. And then give me the Nets plus 10.5. Let's keep it close, fellas. Let's keep it close. Not a 20-point loss again. Bridges, let's have some fun.
You didn't
is
read
Cam
it right,
Thomas
David.
playing?
Not the way I wrote it down.
That is how you wrote it down.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
How'd you write it?
Don't worry about it. Ace Cones going Stars money line. Just look up. And the Kings in hockey, right?
Yes.
Money line plus 160.
How'd you want me to read that?
Don't worry about it.
No,
you blew it.
Bother me for the rest
You
of the
blew
time.
it.
Like,
You blew it.
what? I've read it in order.
Yeah, so NHL playoffs, boys. We got
Yep.
Islanders at Canes. We got Panthers at Boston, Minnesota at Dallas, and then the LA Kings at Edmonton.
Here's watching the Bruins tonight. If you've won the President's Trophy, like there's not a great record of you winning the Stanley Cup playoffs, but the Bruins were as hot at the end as they were at the beginning. They're the best team.
Curse is real, though.
Yeah, it's now it gets real. Now it gets super
Embrace
real.
the curse.
You look at some of these. You look at some of these other matchups, man. Will the Leafs get out of the first round? Are they going to get out of the first round at all? For once, can we see it? I got a feeling they do. And remember, I told you my team to win it. The team I'm riding with, the Canes.
Carolina.
Riding with the Flyers, baby.
Y'all aren't playing.
When do they play? They play next season.
They play next
Ride
season.
with them in the offseason, baby. Let's go. Number 1
We're
team in the
flying.
offseason.
All right, let's go to the poll.
All right. Who will win the Stanley Cup?
Oh, here we go.
The Bruins, the Avs, the Oilers, the Field.
The field.
I'm going to go Bruins.
The field, 40%.
All right, Oilers, 8%. The Avs, 13%. The Bruins, 33%. The Field, 45%.
There we go. The Field.
I thought there was one more. There was one more team.
I can only do 4 options.
Oh.
Sorry.
Dang it.
I've only limited to so many options here, guys. I did the 4 top favorites. So those are the 4 favorites betting-wise, and then I went with the Field.
The Oilers are third?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I'm excited. I love playoff hockey. We got playoff hockey,
New
playoff
Jersey,
basketball.
New Jersey's good. Rangers are good.
The
Devils are right there. They're the one option. It's a New Jersey
Stars
Devils,
are
right?
good.
Yeah, the depth of the NHL playoffs is really.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be glued to it. Really excited. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. Appreciate the call-ins as well. Go to Daily Wire Plus. Best place to find content that doesn't hate you for what you believe. It's a pretty good deal, so go check it out. And right now, Starship is launching. Elon Musk, SpaceX, Franklin Starship or whatever. So in honor of that, going, gone.